Our workshop today is a very important and common issue that needs to be addressed, which I named this workshop the Cease Obese for the Children and Youth of Mississippi. It is very popular to be obese as a child in Mississippi because of the social norms and cultures that are there. So we are going to go over what the issue is and resolutions and statistics of the things that you need to know of what is going on in Mississippi. We have the table of contents, and then our introduction is going to start off with our topic. And it's interesting that the youth of Mississippi are suffering without even knowing it. They think being bigger is just a normal thing. Their parents have the same habits. It's hard to break. So we are going to go over how we can break these bad and unhealthy habits to introduce healthy habits to create a healthy lifestyle. Mississippi is the most obese state in the U.S. There is a lack of physical activity between the children and youth. They're getting rides from their parents and riding buses instead of riding their bikes to their friend's house, walking around, going to parks, and being active. A lot of times their meals are without vegetables. It's usually easy, quick meals that their parents make for them that just seems good instead of trying to get the nutrients that they need. It's also hard to break the Southern cultural norms that are in Mississippi. Food is a big social statement for the people who are there, and also the people's attitude towards work and exercise, they don't seem to really like it, which that's okay, but that is what's creating the Southern cultural norms of Mississippi being an obese state. The problem is that even though Mississippi is the most obese state in the U.S., 22.3% of the children adopt the obesity trait. And it comes from excessive calories with very, very little activity. There's no physical activity going on, nothing to do outside that kids can't find easily. Kids are usually following in the footsteps of their parents and following those unhealthy eating habits. And the access to junk food is easy in their household. It's not an occasional treat to have sweets. It's usually there 24/7. And like they say, out of sight, out of mind, that plays a big part too in trying to eat healthier foods and not to think about junk food and to limit that access to it, especially for your children. Another huge problem is the lack of education and knowledge that these kids don't know about, but also because they don't see the example from their parents. And at school, you can learn about it in health class, but not to a certain extent of how to change and break those bad habits of eating unhealthy. And just like on your plate, you should have a colorful plate of fruits, vegetables, protein, all those things. That is what your body needs to be healthy and to have a healthy mind. And so that lack of food that is good for your brain also is causing a lot of depression and bad mental states for a lot of children, especially in high school and middle school. What needs to stop are excessive hours being on social media, video games, television, having excessive weight gain and not doing much about it, not getting outside, being physical, and it's just a lot of heartache. Because when your body is not feeling good, your mind isn't either. Those two play hand in hand. What we'd like to see happen is more activity, being outside, eating foods that are heart healthy, mind healthy, only being on social media for little amounts of time that's healthy for your mind, and especially for these high school students who really focus on comparison and body image. So it's important to work on their mental states, which is why this is what needs to happen and what needs to stop. The statistics show that teenagers, 75% of them, their lack of physical activity comes from video games, phones, and computers, which means that they're staying inside and not going out with their friends, riding their bikes, working out. And the parents, 62% of them think that their obese child's weight is healthy, which is not a good thing to see because then they're not doing anything to help them. And 48% of youth 5 to 19 years old are consuming that much sugar-sweetened beverages, which is a lot, and that can add a lot of weight gain very quickly. In about 16 years, there has been a 14% increase of the obesity rates in Mississippi from 2005 to 2021. That is insane. It's only going up and never even went down. It's just increasing, which we need to make a difference to that. There was also a survey taken at a high school that showed what these students answered. So 8% of them go a week without vegetables. 65% of them are not physically active for an hour a day, at least. And 27% of them watch TV 3 or more days a week. That is a huge contributor to why Mississippi has high obesity rates, especially for children and youth. Our resolution is to help the youth, including their parents, have more food and health literacy. We are providing classes at a Chasen middle school on Tuesdays that is going to help these students and parents how to break unhealthy habits and share the health risks that they are leading to open their eyes that this is a dangerous thing and a lot of health problems can happen. And planting a seed of all this knowledge can help them to break these unhealthy habits now to prevent them for their future lives with their future families. And we like to provide these at school because that is where youth are the most, and it can be talked to them and they can ask questions as much as they need. And where to start is, like I mentioned, at our educational nutritional classes. They'll be on Tuesdays at 4:30 starting in September. And we would highly recommend parents coming with their children. You can learn about easy, healthy meals, creating healthy habits, fun physical activities, and nutrition knowledge. Just getting a seed of what needs to happen for these children can honestly help save their lives for a better future and healthier lifestyles. You can contact me with this information, and thanks for attending this workshop.